Everything in this video is public information and the content in this video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. "69-year-old Christina Lamar from Park Street, Dover, Kent, CT 16. A child sex offender could face another spell behind bars after breaching a court order. Christina Lamar failed to comply with conditions imposed in 2017 after being jailed for a year following a conviction for sexual activity with a child under 14. The 69-year-old, who was listed as male on court lists but identifies as a woman, had been placed on a sex offenders registry and told to sign in at a police station once a year. But the pensioner failed to check in with officers in Dover on March the 28th in breach of a Sexual Harm Prevention Order (SHPO). It was not the first time Lamar had failed to comply with the strict conditions of the SHPO, having previously been found with a mobile phone police had not been informed about. Referring to his client as she throughout the hearing, Lamar's solicitor James Langridge told the court his client had mental health issues and had previously been in hospital for some time. He conceded Lamar had not completed the annual registration in March, but argued the matter could be dealt with via a fine. Deputy District Judge Claire Luxford decided against sentencing Lamar during a hearing at Folkestone Magistrates on July the 31st. She instead asked probation to carry out a pre-sentence report telling officers and Lamar that all punishments will be considered. She told the defendant, "This offence is aggravated by the previous convictions and I order an all-option report on you, which will include the option of being sentenced at Canterbury Crown Court." Lamar of Park Street, Dover was granted bail and will next appear at the same court on the morning of October the 3rd. 69-year-old Naguib Lutfan from Millwalk, Maidstone, Kent, ME 16. A care worker from Maidstone who sexually abused a severely disabled person has been jailed. Naguib Lutfan, 69, of Millwalk, abused a vulnerable patient while working for an assisted living facility. Suspicions about his behavior were raised on the 8th of May 2024 after colleagues found an empty condom wrapper discarded in a bedroom at the premises after he had been on site on night shift. Lutfan alleged the wrapper had been in his pocket and claimed it had fallen out as he worked. He was suspended from work while an investigation into the circumstances were underway. The following day, a used condom was found in a bin bag in the care home and Lutfan was arrested on suspicion of rape. Lutfan initially denied allegations of sexual abuse, but following an extensive search of the premises, a second used condom was found in the waste bin area outside. An examination of DNA linked him to the offences. He was convicted on the 9th of July at Maidstone Crown Court after he admitted to having sex with the victim, who was unable to consent. He was remanded in custody pending a hearing at the same court on the 9th of October, where he was sentenced to 11 years and ordered to serve an extra 4 years on licence. 58-year-old Anthony Jarrett from Maple Close, Larkfield, Alresford, Kent, ME 20. A 58-year-old man who sexually assaulted a young child over a 3-year period has been jailed. The abuse, which took place over a 3-year period in South Lincolnshire, relates to a single victim. He told his victim not to tell anyone, was overly friendly and nice to them, and insisted that if they revealed what was going on, it would have a devastating effect on his life. A spokesperson for Lincolnshire Police said, "Jarrett's behaviour was despicable and vile and would not be tolerated in Lincolnshire. The victim in this investigation has been incredibly brave every step of the way, as has their family, and this sentence is a testament to the bravery they have shown throughout. We hope this sentence will bring them some form of closure and allow them to move on." The impact statement read out in the court from the victim and their family spelled out a devastating impact Jarrett had on their lives. Jarrett of Maple Close, Larkfield, was jailed for almost 11 years. Thanks to the work of the investigators and the bravery of the victim, Jarrett eventually went before court officials in a pre-trial preparation hearing on April the 24th, where he pleaded guilty to all charges. Jarrett was jailed for 10 years and 10 months at a hearing at Lincoln Crown Court on Friday. He was also placed on the sex offenders registry for life and made the subject of a sexual harm prevention order. 43-year-old Alex Law from Cedar Drive, Sutton at Home, Dartford, Kent, DA4. A Metropolitan Police officer granted anonymity at a misconduct hearing despite being a convicted sex offender has finally been named and shamed. PC Alex Law, 43, was pictured for the first time after his brave victim, who was under the age of 10, came forward to speak of her 2 decades of fear and shame. Law, then 15, twice indecently assaulted the girl who had been out playing in the woods near his hometown of Hexham, Northumberland, 20 miles west of Newcastle in 1996. Law then secured a job with the Met many years later and hid his dark secret. But in December 2022, the victim finally decided she had suffered in silence for too long and reported him to Northumbria police. Controversially, Law was allowed to remain anonymous at a Scotland Yard misconduct hearing on April the 25th, 3 days after being sentenced to 2.5 years imprisonment at Newcastle Crown Court. Known only as Officer A, the fool said he had pleaded guilty to 2 charges of indecently assaulting a female under the age of 14. Law was placed under the sex offenders registry for life. In an interview, the victim told the Journal newspaper in Newcastle, "He ruined my life. I could have been somebody so different." While Law got on with his life as a respected custody officer in London, hers spiraled downwards and she struggled to cope. She said, "Growing up, I felt like I was a weirdo. I felt dirty. He made me hate myself. I have made some not great life choices and been in some violent relationships because of him." The woman claimed Law sent her a picture of himself in his Met uniform, which encouraged her to come forward and speak up about Monster Alex to protect other women. Law of Cedar Drive in Dartford, Kent, and attached to Met detention, was dismissed without notice by Assistant Commissioner Pippa Mills. Law apologised and recognised it would be unlikely he would ever have been a police officer if the circumstances was known at the time. Northumbria Police Detective Constable Phil Trotter, who led the investigation, said on Tuesday, "This conviction was only possible because of the bravery shown by the victim. She found the courage to speak out and trusted that our officers would listen and fully investigate what happened. I hope her brave actions act as an inspiration to other victims who may feel it is too late to report historic abuse. It is never too late to come forward, and as a force, we are committed to supporting victims and bringing perpetrators to justice." Met Detective Chief Superintendent Andy Cox added, "I'm grateful to Northumbria Police for their investigation. He is now serving a prison sentence and has rightly been swiftly dismissed from the Met. We remain committed to ensure those who are not fit to police are removed from the organisation."